are live. Hi, guys. I am your host, Aaliyah, of course. Thanks for tuning in again, and thank you for the people that have subscribed to my YouTube page, to Making Money Moves podcast. Thank you all who have subscribed to my sorry guys, to iTunes, to Making Money Moves as well. Hopefully you are I know you tune in to watch me every week and see what guests I'm going to have and what jewels we are going to drop on you, but I'm going to do that in a minute. So let's get into where we were last week. Okay, so last week I had Ian Chestnut on here. Shout out to Ian. Sorry to your wife again. We talked about the tech world basically, and then he also talked about scalability, which scalability basically is for you not to have growing pains, for you to be able to have a system where you have enough people in place so that you have the subcontractors, you have the contractors, you have the people that work for you, that when you get a bunch of things to do, you will not go crazy and lose your mind, and you can shell out different people to do different things. So it's having those things in place so you don't have growing pains is what he talked about with scalability. And I mentioned to you about credit. So the importance of having good credit. On here, I gave you the nine benefits of having a good credit score. Credit is more important than money. It is worth more than money for those, that are like putting their credit on the back burner, or, you're looking into credit repair. Obviously, my company does do credit repair. You can talk to Calvert's Tax Service if you would like. But I did also mention, before I moved to Texas, I was trying to buy a Cadillac, Escalade, because I just like big trucks, SUVs. And I had a job because I was teaching down here. I already signed a contract. But when I went to go buy the truck, they told me no because I did not have credit. Only thing I had was, I think, a Ebony subscription, and I think that was because of my mom. So you, regardless of having the money, and I wasn't obviously going to pay for it cash, I didn't have the credit. So had no credit is the same as having bad credit. So what I would advise for those that do not have credit, or if you're trying to rebuild your credit, I would tell you to get a secured credit card. Is one thing that I do tell a lot of my clients to do. Get a secured credit card. It basically works like a debit card. You cannot spend more than what is actually on the card, but it's a credit card. So it does report to the credit bureau. It does show that you are building credit. It does also look good to show that you can maintain something. You can put all your bills on this particular credit card and then put the money on there or pay it as you go, the card. And then it also shows every month that you are paying the credit card. The bills are still getting paid. It's just off of the secured credit card. So I do advise that. If you all have any questions about that or how to get a secure credit card, you all can reach out and call me. You can call me at 713-239-2286, which is my office. I'll give you that number or put the number in again, so you all will know. But that is my spiel from last week, was good credit and scalability. If you guys have any questions, let me know. If you all need Ian's information about your websites, let me know as well, and I'll send that out. But let's get into today. Okay, today we are talking about sports, performance, and finance. Okay, my next moneymaker today is TJ Miner. TJ is a Oklahoma State University graduate. He is a chemistry major, but he is a sports performance coach. He's also a chemist. We're going to figure out how these things go together because we have no idea. Okay. He is also a mentor. He owns Grit Performance Houston, which is a training, basically kind of like a training facility. He trains all athletes. He trains from kids to adults. But I'll let him talk to you about, what he does. So let's get into it. Welcome, TJ, to Making Money Moves.
Thank you, Aaliyah. Thank you for having me.
Okay. So give us a little bit about Grit Performance.
Okay, so Grit Performance was started by one of my really good friends and I, / teammate from college.
Okay.
We started Grit Performance because of our love for sports.
Mm-hmm.
He and I both had aspirations to play, on the pro level. It didn't work out that way, but we still wanted to be involved with sports.
Okay.
So what better way than to take athletes and to give them things that we didn't have. So, that it starts with mentorship, Just helping them be able to develop into the athlete they want to become.
Okay. All right. So, we see TJ online, and you see him if you go to his Grit Performance page on Instagram or on Facebook, you see, that he does a lot with the kids. They do a lot. He does also do a lot with adults. He trains, but, he has a background in chemistry. Okay. I feel like, athletes are very smart. We are students, athletes, not athlete students. But chemistry though? So tell me how you went from chemistry and being a chemist for where you work to now you are a sports performance coach and trainer. So give us a little bit about this background with this chemistry. Chemistry, I wouldn't have thought chemistry. And then now so give us something.
Yeah, so I've always liked science.
Okay.
So I initially started as a biology major.
Okay.
Biology got boring to me, so I switched over to chemistry. I know. I love working in the lab, but sometimes working in the lab can get a little tedious.
Okay.
So one day I got a call from Larry, who owns Grit Performance with me.
Okay.
And he was saying, hey, man, I got this really good opportunity. I'm training at this sports performance facility out in Katy.
Okay.
Man, you should come check it out. I checked it out. I ended up working there part-time, and I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. So then I went and started getting my certifications. I have 5 certifications now.
Okay.
I'm currently working on my 6th.
Okay.
And this is where we're at now. We decided that we wanted to own our own business.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where we at with Grit Performance.
Yes, it's entrepreneurship. So outside of Grit Performance, he also owns a TM Security. So anybody that has events that you need security for, this is the guy. His team can obviously come do security for you. His team has done security for my wedding company a couple times. So, we try to keep it all within this community that we are in. But we'll get into the TM security later. And then we also, may have a TM base service coming soon, we'll talk about that later, which is funny to me too. But okay, so we're going to get into Grit Performance first. So let me give you a little history or a little background about sports performance. Obviously, we are both former collegiate athletes, but the sports performance industry brings in about $7 billion a year. And we know that the fitness industry brings in about $85 billion a year. So on top of, the sports performance coaching part is what brings in the $7 billion. In the sports industry, you're looking at around 92 maybe on average $1 billion a year that fitness and sports is bringing in per year, which is a big part of sports, is a big part of a lot of communities. It's a big part of, bringing people together. It is a big part of, a lot of people that have played sports. Discipline, you get a lot of discipline in learning how to work with others when you do play sports, which is a good thing. So if any of you guys have children that needs a little discipline or they need a little, play with others, sports, I would obviously recommend sports. I played basketball and ran track. Obviously, he played football and baseball, which we found out recently here too. So okay, so you do mentorships with the kids. So tell me how the mentorship part works.
So we mentor every kid that we come across.
Okay.
We think that it's very important that you help your athletes excel on and off the field.
Okay.
So whether that be with their mental state, them needing advice about dealing with friends or certain situations, especially, when you get into your teen years, that's when you kind of start to find yourself a little bit. And sometimes, you might need a push or you need to help them pull back from certain things. So that's where Larry and I step in and, we kind of guide them in the right path.
Okay. He hasn't said this yet, but he also, out of recently, I know a lot of the people the kids that he has trained have all went to D1 schools.
Yes.
So talk about, I know you have gone to a couple of the high schools and you have talked to a lot of the kids. Mm-hmm. At least 4 or 5 of them, I know it might be more than that, have gone to D1 schools to play football. or in another sport. I think some of them had went for track. But give us a little bit about, do you still mentor the kids? Like once they get into college, do they still call you? Do you still work with them outside of that? Do you, the people that you work with now, I know some of the kids, a lot of accolades and stuff they have right now because of you. So give us, don't be modest. Give us a little bit about about the things that have gone on.
So the goal is to always, help them get to a playing field. You want them to climb to the top of the ladder. All right. So, once they leave high school and they go to college, I do keep in touch with all my athletes. You want to maintain that relationship, because word of mouth is really key in sports performance training. So, they let one of their teammates know, or just a friend, hey, I got this amazing coach down in Houston. I'm going down there for break. You should come train with me.
Okay. Well, word of mouth builds every business. I can tell you that. I have literally my tax office. Into finance. My tax office was inside of an office building. And, the way some buildings work, you can't have signs like outside. You can't have them in the hallway. So literally my business for the first 3 years was built off of word of mouth. Yeah, outside of me, sending out flyers and sending out anything, word of mouth, because I'm inside of an office, even though I was on the first floor. So to word of mouth does build your business. It can, make or break you when it comes to anything. But hopefully, your work speaks for itself. And you will continue to get more clients. So that is a key. Customer service is part of, that portion of it as well for those that are in the customer service field, or you working with people. People can make or break a business, especially when you are a small business. So that's kind of a jewel we want to keep in mind, guys. Customer service is everything. Okay. All right. Okay. So tell me about, how did TM Security, because you go Grid Performance, we have Chemistry, right? Chemistry major, Grid Performance. So tell me how the security came about.
So it's just something that kind of fell into my lap. I had a friend who worked at a club, and they needed somebody. He was like, hey, man, can you do me a favor? We're short a guy. Can you please come in and work security? I don't know. I was a little hesitant. I went in. It was real easy. People coming in there just to enjoy themselves. I ain't had to toss nobody out. So I was like, man, why can't I do this, and start my own company? Right. So that's kind of how it started. And then, did a couple of events. It was easy, and I enjoy it. You get to meet new people, and that's always a good thing.
It is. Expanding your horizon is where that is coming from, stuff that kind of falls into your lap, which is good. You can expand your horizon and bring out these other things that you have. I don't have any stats for you guys for the security, what security does for as far as the industry. But security is obviously always important when it comes to different events. So here we go. TM Security for you guys. Okay. So we'll go back to, let's touch on this just a little bit. This base service. I think, guys, this is so funny to me. So have you ever had, this is not really finance, but have you ever had, like, for all my females and some guys, that's not handy, and you need to put up some curtains, hang some pictures, you need to pull up some carpet, and you don't necessarily have anybody that or your family is not here to help you, do these things, and you can't do these things yourselves. TJ here is future. It's coming. This bay service is what it's called, to be able to help you. So you would call a number and say, this is what you need to do. This is what you need. And then somebody from his bay service, a bay for you for the day, will come to you, and they would hang up and do all these things that you need them to do around the house. Isn't this a nifty, like, tell me where this came from, because that is totally different from Grid Performance. I think it's so funny. But if I didn't have a bay, I probably would be like, well, like, not other people I know. But it's just, it's definitely convenient.
Yeah.
that you can have somebody just come to you and do all this, and it doesn't necessarily have to pay as much as it would be if you have to actually call a handyman if you don't know a handyman.
Mm-hmm.
So this is very interesting and funny to me. So we're just gonna touch on it a little bit. We don't really know if it's coming for real, but future talks. So we've been talking about it. So let's talk about this bay service. Okay,
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Service.
So my girlfriend always needs me to put something together, put something up, hang something up, pick this up, move this, shift this. So I figured, there's women out there that need that kind of help. So I can provide a service. I can send somebody your way. You might want to just Netflix and chill. I don't know. You might need your curtains put up. You might need a rod put up. You might need somebody to put a table together for you or a chair or something and just tell them to get out of there. But I thought it was a good idea. I'm sure women wouldn't mind paying for the service. You might run into some handsome guy, somebody look like me. I don't know. But yeah, that's the base service. It might be coming soon. It might not be coming soon.
I think that is so funny, guys. That is, you don't understand. When I heard about this, I was like, a base service. But I personally have friends that can't put stuff together and that need some help, which is so funny to me. But solve a problem with a problem, right? If you solve the solvable problems, which is a problem, not necessarily just as a base service, which is kind of funny, but you do have a lot of people that need stuff done, and convenience is always the key to a lot of things. I do a lot of things in the area because of convenience. Regardless if it might cost me a little more, I don't have to go far. I can go within a mile radius to get whatever I need to get done, and that is convenient. So that does happen. So, you solve a problem with a problem. He see that is, out of his experiences, this is what has come out of it. So, that might be a niche for something that to make some more money. We always talking about making money moves and figuring out unconventional and conventional ways of making money. So a base service, obviously, is something that is unconventional way of making money, but it does also help out, people at the same time. So if you are looking for someone that a handyman basically kind of that needs, you need some stuff done, you can, hit me on Instagram or Facebook, and then I will put you in contact with the service. Okay, let me know. That is so funny. But anyway, let's get back to this financial thing. So one of the things that I know we've talked about, I can get into this. A lot of the sports performance and a lot of the training of athletes, you get paid cash. Okay, a lot of it is when you get paid cash. You might get paid through PayPal. You might get paid through Cash App. So a lot of that, you need a bookkeeper, or you need to make sure you are very organized. As a chemist, I'm pretty sure he's very organized in his things. But this is what I would suggest for cash, because what happens is let me get into finance for you and some taxes. The IRS doesn't come after you. They come after you for not reporting. Okay. They don't come after you for over reporting. They come because you do not report. So what happens is that I don't know why people don't do this, but when you get paid through PayPal, you get paid through Cash App, you get paid through Intuit, through Square, anything that you get paid through a device, you get paid through Chase Quick Pay, and you're bringing in anything over $400 for the year. Okay. It's going to the banks. It's going through the IRS. So they see these transactions and how much money is coming in. Okay. So even if you like, oh, it's only $500, you still have to report it. It's $500 from PayPal. Oh, it's $300 from here. Oh, it's $300 from there. What happens is people that don't report stuff is the reason why you get audited. Okay. It's the reason why they come in and say, hey, we see that you got paid or you got this money from wherever and you haven't reported. True story. I had a client that is a hairdresser that she was reporting the money she was making, but she was not reporting the money that she had come through Square. And she was like, oh, it's just $7,000. She didn't report. Well, the IRS came back and hit her and say, hey, you didn't report this $7,000 from Square. or PayPal. So now you don't only owe us the 7 that you didn't report or whatever the difference is with your taxes. You also owe us penalties and interest for that. And they can go back, if it's underreporting, they can go back 7 years or so. If you don't report it, if you underreport and you're missing and it's within a percentage, then they can only go back a certain amount of time, 3 to 5. If it's over a certain amount, they can go back until they feel like they don't want to go back anymore. Okay? We all know the IRS is very slow. So they'll start sending you letter after letter about money that you owe them because you have not reported it. So what I would recommend is that you have some type of journal or you have some type of cash book where you know how much money you have coming in. You can write off whatever you want to write off pertaining to your business, but you need to at least report the money that you have so that you don't have an issue with them coming back saying that you didn't report. Okay, that is my little spiel when it comes to that. Like it's I can't stress it enough to report however the money that you have and just to write off everything else. Just write it off. You make the money, you do a job making the money, so write it off. Trump has helped small business for the next 3 years. After that, it might be a different story, but we're just going to hope that somebody else comes in and changes this tax law and that will be all right. But at least for the next couple of years, you got a little break. So you might as well report it, take take what you can take to get off, and then you'll be okay. Okay. I got to give you something with finance, just a little bit every day. Okay. So we have, let's go back. We're going to go back a little bit to the Grit Performance. I know we talked about some of his other businesses with security and bay service, but we're going to get into, let's go back to the Grit Performance. Okay. Because you do, strength and conditioning. Mm-hmm. You also do speed and agility, right? And you do pro techniques. So what's the difference? A lot of people, millennials or, everybody feels like, not just millennials, but, a lot of people, we have these couch coaches. Mm-hmm. That's what I like to call these people, couch coaches, that you feel like when you're watching a game or you're watching any game you're watching, you just feel like you could do that or he should have did this, and but you ain't never played a sport outside of high school. If you weren't on the varsity team, I don't think you should say anything personally, but I played varsity, so I can say that. But anyway, so tell me why we should come to Grit Performance. Tell me what sets you apart from your competitor?
For one, like you just mentioned, I did play sports on the high school and the collegiate level. So you can connect with the athletes different when it's something that you've done before.
Right.
So, the athletes understand your language. You can tell them certain things and they're going to believe you. Like, hey, this is why we're doing this, so do it this way. A lot of people, they want to get where you've been or beyond. So that's why, I feel like we're different than everybody else because some people just decide, I love sports so much, I want to train athletes.
Right.
You know what I mean? And, they may have the personality of a rock. When you play in a team sport, your personality develops a little bit different. You get a cohesiveness with athletes. You learn how to deal with different types of personalities, et cetera. Mm-hmm. So I think that's what separates us. And then, we have great personalities ourselves. I think that starting with youth all the way up into the collegiate level, you develop relationships that are forever.
Right.
And so I think that's important for any coach, athlete to have that kind of, relationship with a coach.
I do agree with that. I have my high school coach, Coach Mack. Shout out to Coach Mack. She, I still talk to her to this day. Mm-hmm. She also gave me my first car. She gave me a Mitsubishi Galant in high school. But relationships are important. Coach Mack from high school. And then I also had another, Coach Mack in college at Jackson State. Obviously we all know that, the JSU. Coach Mack is, if you ask me who my coach was, I will always say Coach Mack. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously Coach Taylor was the coach, but Coach Mack was the one that, we talked to the most, the one that you could relate to. So, and even my AAU coach, that, I've been in their life. He's been in my life all my life. Mm-hmm. Shout out to John KZoo Blues. But they, the relationship that you have with these people definitely stays, definitely helps you out. So I do have a relationship with all of these coaches that I've had from AAU through college. So it is good that you guys stay in contact with the kids. And that, that does set you apart when it comes to you being able to talk to the parents.
Right.
Because I know you coach some of the kids out of Bush, and they are going to. One of them I know is going to a JUCO, and then the other ones are going. He got to you late, but that wasn't because of athletic problems anyway. But the other ones are going to D1 schools, which is good. So his reputation when it comes to sports, when it comes to training, obviously speaks for itself. If I know that a coach has had 10 people at least go to D1 schools, and now you are training me on the side, and my mom is bringing me, or dad is bringing me to you outside of practice and things, I think that, we are well on our way, which is good that you have this. So I do know. So, every week I give you all a jewel, or we give you some type of financial gem to drop, or we give you whatever the person does, they're going to give you a little bit. So TJ, give us a financial or, a performance jewel to drop on people today.
Sure. So can I give two?
Yeah.
So the first thing is knowing your market. Do your research, see how much other coaches are charging. Don't ever undervalue yourself. So, do your research. The second thing is, if you're in this field that I'm in, training athletes, start with the youth. Because if you're starting with 7 to 8 year olds, you have them all the way until they're 18. So, that makes a big difference versus, just going straight for high school athletes where you might have them anywhere from 1 to 4 years. So those are my two tips.
Okay. So we are start young and know your market. Okay. Starting young and know your market, which is, yeah, I agree with that. I think I started running Hershey Check at like 2. I feel like my dad had me on the track. Like, this is your life.
Get out there.
At 2. Get out. Okay. And then, so today, I know I have given you, every week I give you something different. I try, unless it's, I really feel like this is what we need to talk about. But today I'm going to talk about crowdfunding. Okay, so crowdfunding, I know you all see a lot of like GoFundMe accounts with people that have died or people that need help with something or whatever. That's not what I'm talking about. That is crowdfunding as well, but that's not what I'm talking about for entrepreneurs. Okay, so crowdfunding obviously is raising money by getting a lot of, smaller groups of people for you to be able to raise money. But when I talk about crowdfunding for entrepreneurs, I'm also talking about places you can go to pitch and really sell them your ideas for these people that are in this market to give you money. Okay. So instead of going to banks, instead of having to go to some of these other places to get these personal loans, if you go crowdfunding, which you can pitch it to some people. So you can pitch it to somebody like Kickstarter, Rocket Hub, 1,000 Angels. These are a couple companies you can pitch to that they have a group of people that are set to invest in new companies, that are set to invest in small businesses that they see the potential for you to grow in the future. So it's not just you sending out a GoFundMe account or you are raising money for this. It's literally you're going to these companies where they have 10 or 20 people that are ready to give you $1,000 or $5,000 per person. And a lot of CEOs and people I have talked to have said the reason why people don't get the money is because you don't ask. A lot of people tend to ask for a small amount versus you asking for, I need $500,000 is what you really need, but you're only going to ask for $20,000 because you don't think you'll get the $500,000. They want you to ask for the ask for the 500, and then they will then say, she wants 500. This is the approach that she gave us. These are the projections. This is the introduction she gave us into what they're trying to build. Well, she wants 5, we'll give her 250. Okay. Versus you asking for 20, they'll say that you don't believe in your stuff enough for them to invest in you. is the reason why you don't get it. If you don't ask, you won't get it. A lot of people just think that well, if I ask for so much, then I won't get it. That's not the case. Ask for it. I ask for it all the time. Okay? If I get it or not is a different situation. If you're asking the right people or not, you don't know, because you don't know who has it and you don't know who does not. So one thing I would recommend for entrepreneurs is to look into, especially if you have, a good business, if you have something to solve a problem with the problem, if you have something that's convenient for people, if you have something that is a different market, there's a niche for it, people are not doing it, you need to pitch it. Make sure you have it together. Make sure you have your projections together. If you need help with projections, Calvert's Tax Service does that as well. But these are places you can go. I'll post the names of the places where you can go to get this for crowdfunding for the entrepreneurs, and not just like a GoMe or GoFundMe or Sassy or something like that. I'll post the names of the company so but this is where and what you should look into. So I do want to thank TJ Miner for coming with Grit Performance. Again, if you all need Grit Performance, TM Security, if you need them for any service, the website obviously is posted. I'll also post a link on there. I do want to thank you for coming in today. I know it was last minute that we got you, but thanks for coming. And hopefully you guys will subscribe to my YouTube page, my Facebook page, my iTunes page, Google Play. I'm working on you. I don't know what the problem is. You guys are just so difficult right now. But thank you guys for who has subscribed. And we are out.